is Jenna Elizondo, and I'm a communication major at Rutgers University, graduating in 2018.
My name is Aimee Cruz, and I'm an ITI major at Rutgers University, graduating in 2018 as well.
Today we're going to talk to you about virtual reality and augmented reality, how they play a role in entertainment and other industries as well, and where we see that going from here. So these technologies have been well developed for a long time, and today, more so than ever before, these technologies are at the touch of our fingertips.
Literally.
What'll blow your mind is how many other ways you can apply it to life.
Right now we commonly see AR and VR in video games, but many people don't actually know that it's being used in a lot of other industries as well.
You might recognize Pokemon Go. It was one of the most popular augmented reality games that was out last year, and Pokemon Go had peak usage in July of 2016, and we saw it bring people both young and older together out in the community and pretty much interact with their surroundings.
I brought a little exercise into the equation as well. We've also seen VR usage in current PlayStation games that are coming out. A popular new VR game that has come out for the PlayStation is Resident Evil 7 Biohazard.
See, I personally couldn't ever see myself playing a VR video game because my first instinct when I'm scared is to just swing. So no one can be in the vicinity of me playing any kind of VR horror video game. I can not even play horror on its own without the headset. So I'd just be terrified.
Well, they've also developed like arcade type games, so it's not just horror.
Like what?
I know they have like archery, and they have one that's called Pirate Invaders or something like that. That's like you're just shooting pirate alien things.
Pirate alien things.
Yeah. Haven't personally tried it, but I've seen videos on it.
Yeah, so something I didn't really realize about virtual reality was that it's been around for a long time. It just hasn't been accessible for the public. I mean, I would say it's still not very accessible to the public because of how expensive the good headsets are. But you did find one headset that was pretty cheap by Google.
Yeah, Google Cardboard. It's only $15.
That's pretty affordable. What kind of, do you know what kind of games they have for that?
It's mostly mobile. You put your phone in the headset and you can play, I guess, whatever games they have in the App Store or the Play Store.
I find that a lot of mobile device companies have been trying to incorporate virtual reality headsets into their sales. You see like Samsung VR, their headset. Sometimes you see these deals for phones where they give you a headset if you buy this phone under a certain contract or something like that.
Right.
So companies have definitely been trying to make it more accessible because it is really an innovative technology for entertainment purposes mostly.
Yeah, I would say like this at this point, like before, it's still expensive to create, and we still maybe don't have the full capacity of technology for it to be affordable, but it's definitely getting there.
Yeah, it definitely has come a long way. I mean, if you think about, I found out that the Sensorama, it was pretty much the grandfather of virtual reality, where kind of the first 3D movies were seen through this device. You just kind of sit there and watch your movie, kind of stick your head into this bulky compartment, and like the chair would vibrate, you would get, olfactory senses. So it was more of an immersive experience when you were watching these kinds of movies back then. Mm-hmm. I can see how virtual reality has been pioneered out of that kind of technology.
Right. I don't know if you remember as a kid, they had these little lenses where I don't actually remember what it was called, but they had these little lenses where you would put like these chips in, and it would show you Disney characters. Do you remember?
Oh
that?
yeah, I remember that.
Yeah. So that can actually be considered part of it too, and at that point we didn't even think about it being VR or AR. I don't think most people do.
Yeah, I think there's like a lot of practical things that we don't think about that are considered AR. For example, anytime that you go to the supermarket, if you scan a grocery coupon, or whether you have like your bank phone app and you scan your check to deposit it into your account, those are augmented reality technologies because you're skipping the trips, the trip to the bank, you're skipping that, and you're kind of fusing both your in-person environment with some other tangible form online.
It's virtual environment.
You can even see virtual reality being used in the arts. Here we have a picture of Nicole Stenger. She created the first immersive movie called Angels, and it was laid out at the visual arts program at MIT.
What year was that?
It was between 1989 and 1992.
So definitely very early on.
So her artwork was developed for the three senses of vision, audio, and touch, even though at the time the technological restraints could only implement vision, audio, and a non-tactile data glove. So you don't see nowadays, we just have the bulky headset. That hasn't changed. But we kind of got rid of the gloves and swapped them out for some other types of controls, especially when you're playing games.
Yeah, like Move controllers are very popular now. There's also this really cool app on the App Store called Night Terrors. I think you have to purchase it for 99 cents, if I'm correct. And it's basically an augmented reality app where you can walk around with your phone and your flashlight on, and it shows you paranormal activity in the environment that you're currently in through your phone.
I remember when we played that, I was terrified. All the lights were off, and you just see things popping up out of nowhere in like your kitchen or your living room, except everything's dark and you have no idea like what's around. It's kind of like having a haunted house in your own home, which is more terrifying because once you put the phone down, it doesn't really feel like it stops.
Yeah, definitely. I remember we went into the bathroom together because, that's the typical place that you see these horror things come up in movies.
Standing in the shower.
Yeah, and there was something standing in the shower with the red glowing eyes.
Oh my god.
And then the creepy music, of course, in the background makes it so much better.
And then probably something else you don't realize is considered augmented reality is Snapchat. Everyone loves to use Snapchat filters. I mean, I probably played with this rainbow filter at least 50 times a day because who doesn't like seeing themselves vomit rainbows without actually vomiting rainbows? So it's augmented reality because it's you see yourself in the camera, but it also kind of morphs your face, so you get to kind of live as these cool or interesting or ugly characters and kind of become someone else temporarily for 24 hours anyway.
I personally didn't have Snapchat when this filter came out, but I remember during the presidential election, there was a filter that split your face half and half, one for Democrats, one for Republican, and you would have these goofy glasses on one side and like a goofy hat on the other side.
I think that virtual reality and augmented reality are really going to shape our future, not only as consumers of entertainment, but as workers, as students. We know that technology in general has impacted our lives so much that we're heavily reliant on it. We're always on social media. We're always, wherever we're getting to go, we're on Google Maps. We're using these technologies to our benefit. And I think that if we can make these more accessible, it's only going to improve our lives. And we're going to be able to do really interesting things
I can definitely agree with the improving part. Ever since Pokemon Go came out, I have been walking a lot more because I want to get all those Pokemons that I haven't gotten before.
That's right, burning calories. And, you know, I can bet that people in the military using these kinds of technologies would benefit because not only are they training, burning calories, you know, not using Pokemon Go, but we found that workers in the military are using. Excuse me.
My bad.
We found that workers in the military are using virtual reality to train. And I think that's really great because it makes it a safer environment for military personnel to, you know what they have to know what they have to do without putting themselves in physical harm.
Talking about the military, they have also started using virtual reality and augmented reality in healthcare. They've started using it with veterans who are suffering from PTSD, just trying to rehabilitate them into society again, and they've seen really good outcomes from it.
So yeah, I think it'll definitely impact how we carry out our military procedures, but it definitely is shaping our entertainment. I mean, you see a lot of 360 posts on Facebook where you can just move your phone around and kind of see a place without really being there. Like I've seen one for the pyramids of Egypt. I've looked at that. Yeah, you can pretty much, you know, move yourself from left to right and you'll see each of the pyramids. And that's pretty cool for people who can't travel. And then besides that, I see us getting to the point where, you know, especially because virtual reality has been based off of the Sensorama, I can see us being in theaters where we have this kind of dome room we all sit in and we have swivel chairs and we just put our headsets on and we're able to just watch these movies in the 360 and kind of move around and get a different, unique experience depending on where you're sitting, where you move your chair.
I definitely agree with that, especially now having 3D movies. That's actually augmented reality as well. And in some places, I know in Dominican Republic, they actually have vibrating chairs, which vibrate as, I guess, stuff goes on in the movie just to, I don't know, make you feel like you're in the environment, I guess.
So I think we're going to have more of that and more AR specifically because headsets are so expensive. But once they get to a consumer affordable level, I can definitely see families just like sitting on their couches and watching TV with their headsets on. I mean, we already have ways of being in the same room and watching a couple different channels on the same screen. That'll probably be heightened by each family member having their own VR headset and being able to watch what you want to watch in this completely immersive environment.
Imagine watching a horror movie together.
Oh my god, I would throw my popcorn everywhere. You'd probably get swung at, honestly.
It wouldn't be the first time.
Definitely not the first time. I see augmented reality definitely being prevailing, at least in these next few years to come. I see this from iGreet. They even have a way for you to add birthday cards to that augmented reality environment. You can kind of just like take your phone camera, point it at your birthday card, and it just becomes this other thing. It'll be like a filter, if you will, kind of like Snapchat.
I heard they had something similar. Starbucks came out with something similar. I don't know if last year or the year before, for Valentine's Day, where you could take a picture of your cup and your cup had hearts on it, and then it would like animate the hearts, and you could send it to, I guess, your girlfriend or boyfriend or significant
whoever.
other.
Or whoever.
Yeah, we don't judge.
We don't judge whoever. Businesses are definitely banking on this. I mean, with Pokemon Go, you had businesses, you know, being Pokestops and telling people to come in. They would get like a certain discount if you were there playing Pokemon Go. So businesses are definitely banking on that, and I think they will continue to do so. I mean, if you think about it, we could have dressing rooms where, or if you like go to the clothing store, you can basically skip the dressing room or the fitting room line by having this ability to try on outfits without actually having to change your clothes. And I think that's really cool.
And wouldn't that be great, just not having to try all these different sizes on, like the technology just telling you automatically what size you need to get?
I feel like we'll be grandmas by the time they're able to do that, but I don't doubt that they'd be able to do that. Something else I can also see this being beneficial for is, we already see it for realtors using virtual reality and augmented reality. We have companies that are using 360-degree videos to show their homes that are for sale. I can see you going onto an IKEA site or an IKEA app on your phone and then just pointing to this empty corner in your living room and seeing whether this dresser or TV stand is going to look right, or even going down to as far as painting your walls. If you don't know what kind of color scheme would look right in your room, you can always just try that in your room without actually having to buy paint.
I can definitely relate with that. This year, while looking for apartments, I was actually able to have a 360-degree view of these apartments without actually having to go to the place. And it was pretty cool because you could tell how many rooms there were in, how big the rooms were, and if it was carpeted, if it's not carpeted.
If you could have any VR technology right now, what would it be and why?
I mean, if I had an unlimited budget, I would probably try and go and get the HoloLens. I've heard that's probably the best headset that's out there, but it costs $3,000. I believe it is.
That's a whole lot.
So I think I'll stick with the Google Cardboard.
Yeah, like Google Cardboard. What was it? How much was that again?
$15.
That $15 Google Cardboard.
I mean, you're wearing a cardboard on your face, but
we can paint it. We'll get past that. I personally, if I could invest in any technology, VR or AR, I would probably go with some type of AR technology that allows you to try makeup on. I mean, there's apps for that, and it kind of gives you like makeup looks, but if Sephora had like a feature on their website where I can try the next Kat Von D lipstick without actually having to go into the store and try it on or buy it, which is expensive, I would like to do that. I think it'd be a time saver.
So that about does it for our talk about virtual reality and augmented reality.
We hope you enjoyed it. Please make sure to check out our infographic on our website, as it has a lot of interesting stats and info on both and how they're doing.
Until next time, I'm Aimee de la Cruz.
And I'm Elizondo. Bye!
Bye! Turn off now.